असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतंगमय। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
Dear all, in this video, I take up a problem on motion in straight line. In fact, learning the problems on, or say numericals on motion in straight line or in mechanics will help us in two ways. First of all, it will help us to learn to think logically, and thereby our thinking also improves. Logical thinking also improves, and also it will train our brain to solve numericals of higher versions. Therefore, in today's session, I take up one numerical from motion in straight line, a simple numerical. But remember the methods what I stated in one of my videos. If you want, I share that video actually link in my description box there. But remember, first step what I said there is to read the numerical carefully, step by step. Very careful reading is required. Second step is to write the data along with their symbols if required. Many times it is possible to write the diagram relevant to that. Once you write the diagram, there itself you can write the data along with their symbols. Once you do these two steps, later on you are supposed to check for the system of units. If system of units are in different, say 1 in kilometer, 1 in meter, like that, you are supposed to convert if it is required. That is the third step. The fourth step, what to write is to be written along with its symbol and a question mark in front of it. After that comes a very important stage where many students feel uncomfortable. Many students feel like solving the numericals is just supplying everything to the formula what we have, but that's not the case. That's why many of them get frustrated when they start solving the numericals in physics. So what we need to do, the next step, very important step is to analyze, just like, or to build a plan, just like how we create a plan before building a house or something like that. Here also we have to plan to get the solution. That's what I call as analysis. And finally, at the end of the analysis, you will have clear picture of how to solve it. Whatever it may be a problem, numerical in the, say, elementary level of, say, physics, just in the 11th standard, say, physics, or else it may be higher version of JEE Advanced, that is IIT entrance test. All the things are based on this only. They require very clear understanding of the numerical and then following all these steps. Just make it as a point to follow these steps carefully. Even though in some of the numericals it's very easy, you can do that quickly. But if you follow it, this for them also, you'll make it a practice to solve higher problems on the same grounds. So now I start with a numerical, which is very simple, but it will help us to analyze what we need to do, like that. Look at the thing, look at the board. I read the problem, and we read just think over the problem. As I said in one of my problem solving step sessions, what I share here in this description box, say we need to imagine the situation as though we are in that situation. We try to create a mental picture of that. Now we start with that. So with this introduction, I start reading the problem. You also go through that and try to create a mental picture as soon as we read. Try to create a day to day life thing. That's why I said why mechanics problems are very important to learn, because they are very near to our day to day life, so that you can clearly create a imagination, picturization in your mind later on. Once you learn that, you can go for abstract problems which are coming in the 12th, about electrostatics and all those things. Now, we read this question. Just observe carefully. Say, first thing, a particle starting from rest moves with a uniform acceleration of 2 meter per second square. Find the time taken by particle to travel a distance of 400 meter. What is, say, that is the first part. In the second part, what is the velocity of the particle? Part 1, at the end of motion, at a point midway during the motion. Many of you may feel after solving this in this method, why we need to do so much, why we need to think like that. But remember, the practice is very important. Practicing that method, you may not find, say, sometimes, oh, it is, you may find it is very lengthy and all this. But remember, if you practice this method, you will become masters of solving numericals in physics. Not only in that, your confidence level in facing the problems of life also will improve, like that. Okay, now we try to write down the picture and then we start solving this. We read it again. A particle starts from rest, moves with uniform acceleration of 2 meter per second square. I write the diagram like this, just observe. This we take as particle. It is at rest, that indicates u0, initial velocity 0. Then it moves, say we take on this side, with acceleration 2 meter per second square. So this is the first picturization, first sentence. Find the time taken by the particle to travel 400 meter. That means from here it travels to B. Say I call this as A. It travels to B. What is the distance given there? 400 meter. Right. So 400 meter, what should I call it as? It is the displacement or distance traveled here, because it's one dimensional motion. Both of them are same here. S is 400 meter. Next, that is the second part, second sentence. What is the velocity of particle? Velocity of the particle, there are two things. At the end, I take here, for the first part, I take here V to be calculated. Observe, I have written the data along with what to find, also where it is required. Now, this by this, I want to start with first part. So, what is velocity at this point? What all the things we have given, we check. U given, A given, S given, V to be calculated. Say VUAS connected by only one relation. V square equals U square plus 2AS. We decide like that. So I start solving the things by taking the equation. We try. V square equals U square plus 2AS. Now we check what all the things given in this equation. We mark them by tick. If they are not given, we mark them by cross. Thereby, which tells us the next step clearly what to find. Say, we have to find V, I put a question mark there. We know U, it is 0 there. A we know and S is also known. Observe, in this, V to be calculated, U known, A and S are known. All the things are known to calculate V. So this is a one-step problem. We can simply calculate and complete. So there's no need of much of the analysis. Okay, we go for it. So we solve this. You substitute everything 0 plus 2 into a 2, this is 400. If you take the square root, 2 to square root is 4 root, that is 2. 400 square root is 20, so 400, 40. 40 meter per second is the velocity. Observe 40 meter per second. Simple calculation. This is part 1. Part 2 we think. Part 2 we read once again. At a point midway during motion. At a point midway during motion. Midway. What does it indicate? After traveling through 200 meters. At a point midway, exactly the midpoint. So somewhere here we call it as C. It is the midpoint, midway or midpoint. There we want to calculate the velocity. Again, same formula. So we go for it now. But midway means what is the yes? You are supposed to ask. For part B, now what is the yes to be taken? Midway, midpoint of 400 meters, 200 meter. So I take here, I call it as S dash 200 meter as it is given midway between. Observe, these understanding of these words are very, very important. Midway between them. Midway means exactly at midpoint. Okay. Now use same formula. V square equals, now I write only 2as because u 0, we know. So we start with this. V square equals or V equals root of 2as. We straight away substitute 2 into 2 into midway is 200. So observe 4, if you want, we can write like this 4 into 100 into 2. That means 4 square root is 2, 100 square root is 10, root of 2. So 20 root 2 meter per second is the velocity. 20 root 2 meter per second is the velocity. That's all the problem. This is the simplest one. We'll come up with in next videos with more difficult numericals what are relevant for the 11th standard and some of may be used for the 9th ICS and all those things. There I conclude this video. Thank you. If you feel like this is helpful, please share it to your friends. They will also get the help from it. And also, please do subscribe for my videos. Thank you.